What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Strength, and I'm here to talk to you about tracing that logo, the assignment. All right, that was my stupid intro. There you go. So we're going to talk about trace that logo, and this is going to be the first project assignment that you guys will do where you're going to be creating something. The other one was really just to walk you through just the basic, I mean, super basic familiarity with Illustrator. Now we're going to actually practice using the tools, and this is really important. Okay, so I'm going to go over the lesson, and then I'm going to show you what you're going to be expected to do, and then just know that you'll have part one due the week of, and then part two is due the next week. So it takes 2 weeks to do these parts. All right, if you finish early, great. If not, you got 2 weeks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we will take a look as I know you guys are watching me right there on that screen. So let's go over to trace that logo, okay? All right, let me get my little doober out of here. So trace that logo, part one. We're gonna go down. There we go. The assignment, it's so easy that even I could do it. That was my joke. And trust me, I'm struggling to set the microwave clock, which actually I stopped doing because there were power outages and I said, to hell with it, man. So it's not very hard. It's real simple. So you're going to see a series of logos. On each one of these, there are 4 logos, okay? You're going to trace that logo on another layer. So don't fret. I already set everything up for you, okay? And then once you're done, you're going to select all those shapes and you're going to move them down to the box below. And that's the one I'm going to take a look at. Okay. So, and like seriously, it's really that easy. Once you have all 4 of the logos completed, make sure you save the Adobe Illustrator file. That's an AI file. And that's what you're going to turn in, and I'm going to grade. Okay. With that said, I'm going to show you real quick. This is Trace That Logo Part 1. Of course, all my stuff is over on the side. I'm going to move all my panels. As you can see, I have my panels open at all times. All the panels, all the time. So, for example, let's take a look over here. We have the Canadian flag. So here's what I need you to do. This is going to make things a lot easier for you. I want you to look at everything as a shape. There's a rectangle, there's a rectangle. There's actually a white rectangle here that you could probably put in the back. And then there is the maple leaf. And notice that these are not points, they are slightly curved. You have a nice curve here. So when I tell you that you're going to start with a layer. Look, I have draw here. Now, I want you specifically to create a new layer for each one of these logos, okay? So if I'm going to go through here, I would take my rectangle tool, boop, 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 and then see that it's red. Okay, so I'm going to draw my rectangle. Then I'm going to change this color. Now I'm going to show you a trick. Okay, this is called an eyedropper. You can sample color. Boop. Oh, look at that, right? And then, because I still have my red over here, I'm going to use my little rectangle tool and I'm going to draw another rectangle, right? So you may not be able to tell, but there's 2 rectangles there, okay? So next, you're going to have to trace this. Now, I know a lot of you are looking at your screens when you're doing this, and you're looking here. I need you to grab that zoom tool, the magnifying glass, and I need you to zoom in, okay? The space bar, if you hold the space bar down, it allows you to move the stuff around the screen. Now, personally, I'm old school. I use the pen tool. You could do the curvature tool if you want, but I'm going to use the pen tool. Since I know this isn't a sharp point, I'm just going to click and drag out just a bit. Now, I'm going to do that again. I had a student one time who was just struggling to understand this. So if I click once and let go, it just creates an anchor point. If I click hold and I drag my mouse out, I'm able to curve my line. And then you just look at the imaginary line that it's trying to draw for you. Okay? So for this one, I'm going to click and just pull it out a little bit. All right. Why? Because there is a slight curve here. I'm going to go down here. This is called mountains and valleys, is what I refer to it as. There's kind of a flat spot here, and there's kind of a flat spot here. So this is a curve. I'm going to pick the center of that flat spot, and I'm just going to draw. Oh my gosh, look at that. Now, because it's going to fill in red, I'm going to tell you guys just let's just turn it around. That's what this little arrow does. Now, flat spot here. I'm actually going to go at an angle because I know this is turning. And so I'm flat spot right here, right? Okay. And then there's actually one there. So maybe I'm going to go down here. Nope. That's going to be a lot easier if I do it right there. And then we're going to go here. And then here's another flat spot. And then I want to flatten. Yeah, okay. And then here, here's another flat spot. Oh, look, space bar. Okay, I'm going to do a little tiny spot here, flat spot there. This one I'm going to do at an angle. I'm going to do this one kind of right here. Again, I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm going to do it right on the angle of the corners. Uh-huh. And then I'm literally repeating the same thing. So over here, boop, flat spot, that's a valley. Here's the mountain, there's the valley. So you're probably wondering like, oh man, he's doing it so quickly. Hey, you know what? What I do, I go ahead and I put these anchor points there, and then I go back and I fix it. Okay. So I got the maple leaf done like that. All right. Looks pretty good, right? All right. So what we're going to use is the direct selection tool. The selection tool just lets you select things and move them around or resize them, as you can see in these examples. If you leave your cursor over the spots in the toolbar, it actually tells you what it is and it shows you kind of what it does. So we're going to go to direct selection tool because this allows you, just like it's showing, to change anchors. It also allows you to grab anchor points. So this is the direct selection tool. Any spot that you see that you may need to adjust, you can. So as you can see, I can sit here and adjust these leaves like this guy. Okay, so maybe I need to kind of push this in, right? Yeah. Oh, this guy needs to be moved. So I'm gonna go in there and this one probably needs to come down a bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ja, ja, das ist gut. Das ist sehr gut. Das ist wunderbar. I took German in high school. So once I have that done, what I'm looking for is that this line really outlines everything as best as I can, best that you can. But notice that while these are sharp turn or these are tight turns, they are not sharp. So then I'm just going to take my fill and stroke. Right now the stroke is red, so I'm going to switch them around so that now I have my leaf. Okay. Now there is actually, this is a flag, so I want to put the white back there. So I'm actually going to double click my color here. I know a lot of you go here. Swatches are better, but it's okay. So I'm going to switch it to white. And then I'm actually going to draw the white portion. I'm not doing it entirely. I don't have to. This is just a puzzle piece. But also you're going, well, wait a minute. Why is that on front of everything? It's not a problem. So we're going to take our object, because that's what this is. We're going to arrange them. Okay, so if something's in front of another one, if I put something in front, now it's in front of this microphone, right? So we're going to actually tell it to arrange, and we're going to send it to the back. All right. Now, keep it selected. I'm going to grab the selection tool, the black arrow. I'm going to hold Shift. Shift allows you to select multiple objects. So I'm going to take these guys, and then I'm just going to literally move it down. And so there you go. There's the flag. And you're going to ask like, oh, okay, but I can't see the white. Right. But see, what I do is I turn everything into wires, and I can actually see your entire thing. This is called a wire view. So yeah, that's basically what you're going to do. Make sure that you think about this. Be smart. Work smarter, not harder. There is a large white circle, and then go ahead and trace the red and trace the blue. Do the white circle last. Each one of these are individual, and you better pay attention to that beak, okay? These are curved out here, and here's the thing. These are sharp points. So you're going to go, click, and just go. Just click and release, okay? And then over here on the Texans, I'm not so worried about the shadow. If you want to Google how to do effects, I highly recommend it. It's called a drop shadow. No, actually, I think you could do a drop shadow, but it's also called an outer glow. Drop shadow is probably going to be better. But make sure you pay attention to the star. There is a white base that the red and blue sit on top of, okay? So then you're going to put those down there. I'm going to look at those when you get done. Next, this is the second part. This one's harder. It's actually a lot harder than you think. But I need you to relax, okay? if you need to. I don't care about the R, but do this part last if you need. Work smarter, not harder. I see a green circle, and then there's a green circle in here, but then I see all the white parts separate. So what's going to be the easiest way to do this? Probably create all the white space, white shapes, and then do a green circle for the background. PlayStation, this is a triangle. This is a triangle. This is a rectangle with a side hidden. This is a loop. Okay, do each one of these individually. All right, that's going to be the way that you fix that. And then these, the biggest thing is making sure that the points add up or line up here. Okay, because that's actually where I'm going to go and look. But these, while they're not hard to do, they are time consuming. And the only reason it takes you a long time is because you haven't been doing this as long. That is the difference, folks. It's not that I'm better at this. It's just that I've been doing this a lot longer. That's all. Okay. So once you get all that done, make sure that you turn it in. I will do a grade. These are for practice. If you get better and you get a bad grade, but you want to fix it later, you can. But if you get stuck somewhere, please let me know. I promise you I can get you past that point. But practice, 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 practice. Okay. All right, guys. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing what you guys produce and turn in. Okay.